Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to each and everyone who supports this platform. If you are my subscriber, I really value and I highly respect you as my fans. Back to the politics of the Republic of Kenya. It is like there is confusion in William Ruto's cabinet. A lot of confusion. It is like the reappointed or the renominated CSS are even not sure if they will take up the roles or drop them. A lot of confusion. I was looking at the list and I noticed something which I am going to share with you. But first, let us focus on the obvious. One, Aden Duale, when he was appointed the Minister for Defense, I saw online, Somali celebrated. Higher. When he was reappointed to the same ministry, Somali celebrated. Only Duale. When he was moved from defense to the Ministry of what's the environment or what? Let me see. Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Yes, Somali also celebrated. Now, people asking, why didn't they celebrate other nominees but chose to celebrate only Aden Duale? That is a story for another day. But that is what I picked. Now, when I was going through the list of the nominees, I noted two things. Number one is that the confusion number one, removing Aden Duale from defense and replace him with Soipan Tuya is incompetence of the highest order. I have seen people saying, oh, do not demean women. It's okay. It's okay. But that cannot stop us from speaking the reality and speaking the truth. Personally, I don't like Duale for obvious reasons. But doing that replacement with Soipani Tuya, I saw when Justin Muturi was reading those names in Parliament, and members who are like, can you repeat again? Rudia Patena. You know, they couldn't believe that William Ruto can be able to do this. Confusion of the highest order. The pressure increases. Confusion number two. When I was reading through the list, I noticed that when Ruto was nominating the CSS, we had 11 of them, including the Attorney General. If you noticed, Ruto read 11 names. Now, yesterday, when William Ruto sent a letter to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the letter had only 10 individuals. One is missing. Honorable Professor Kidure Kindiki, Ministry of Interior, was retained. Dr. Deborah Mulongo Barasa, Minister of Health. Honorable Alice Wahome, Minister of Lands. Mr. Julius Yogamba, Education. Honorable Roslyn Soipani Tuya, Defense. Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja, Agriculture. Honorable Aden Duale, Environment. We have Eric Muridhi, Sanitation, Water and Sanitation. We have Davis Chirichir, Ministry of Roads. Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu, Minister of ICT. Now, Rebeca Miano is missing from the list. You remember I raised concern about Rebeca Miano who was ranked the worst, being renominated to the very sensitive position like being the Attorney General. When Tifa ranked the ministers, Rebeca, Miano and Davis Chirchir were poorly ranked in the ministries. So I questioned the credibility that William Ruto used, and I asked Ruto in this very platform, when did Ruto find the people like Rebeca Miano competent? But then Rebeca Miano has been officially dropped from William Ruto's appointment. Some sources privy to the information, though not verified and not authoritative, they say that when the pressure increased, you know, Gen Zs, the LSK, political analysts, even other politicians across media houses have been raising pressure on the credibility of the renominated CSS. So some sources say when that pressure increased, I don't know if it's true, but they say Rebeca Miano wrote to the president and requested the president to pluck her name from the list. Maybe she feared vetting. And I told you here, ignore the propaganda on social media. Social media is peddling fake news that can mislead you. If you want the truth, just ask me. Kaka, I'm here. Your dictionary, your encyclopedia. I will answer all your questions. Some members of parliament were propelling rumors that the renominated 6 CSS are not going to be vetted. They will just assume the roles immediately. And I was like, okay. I told you here, the law says they must undergo through vetting. You know, this is the process. When Ruto announced the names, those names came out as nominees and not appointees. Nominees. The nominees can only be approved to the position of appointment by the National Assembly. And the procedure of approval is very clear in the Constitution. It is through vetting. For the Assembly to verify a CS, he must go through the vetting bench. From there, the committee goes to write recommendations. From those recommendations, the committee presents those recommendations to Parliament for voting. So, wale walikuwa wamesema at you know, we know the law. And the person who was propelling those fake news, imagine, is a member of parliament from Kisii who is a qualified, as they say, lawyer, is the one who said that they will not be vetted. Later on, Justin Muturi gave a guidance and said, listen, any cabinet secretary, whether nominated or renominated, even if you were in the cabinet yesterday, you got dismissed, and the Ruto renominated you in the evening, you must go through the vetting. So that vetting raised questions, and maybe, to my own view, this is what might have scared away Rebeca Miano from the list. So, currently, there are 10 members here, and maybe, as Kaluma said yesterday in Parliament, Raila Odinga is expected to forward his other half names to the Assembly for vetting, and then after vetting, they will form a government of national unity. I want to conclude by telling the Gen Zs, tafadhali, to the Messia man, the scenes I watched at night from a Zimmerman, they were traumatizing, and I could not wish my country to go that procedure. The Kenyan police, anyway, I'll talk that in my next video. God bless you. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.